Hi, welcome to training on the VariQuest Perfecta 2400PRO poster design system. My name is Heidi, and you are absolutely going to love having this printer in your school. With its ease of use and access to over 1,000 pre-designed poster and banner templates available through our Engage Every Learner software, the possibilities for creating a safe, inclusive, and engaging learning environment are endless. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to first draw your attention to our VariQuest Design Center 2300. This is our all-in-one touchscreen computer that comes preloaded with our VariQuest software. That contains our Engage Every Learner content, giving access, as mentioned, to over 1,000 pre-designed poster and banner templates, along with over 7,000 full-color graphics. Now, you may or may not have received the 2300 with your Perfecta Pro investment, but that's okay. If you don't have the VariQuest Design Center, you can easily download the VariQuest software onto your own device. It is only PC compatible, so do keep that in mind. It is not, the software that is not compatible with Macs. However, it is a free download that is available on our exclusive website called our VariQuest Resource Center. That's just for valued customers like you. There you will find, when you create your login, you will find the VariQuest software readily available to download onto your own computer. And you can then connect that to your VariQuest Perfecta Pro. I'll be talking about how to connect your two devices here in just a few minutes, but you can easily connect your own device to the Pro to have access to our VariQuest software. And in fact, the VariQuest software does not have any licensing restrictions, so we always recommend, even if you have the VariQuest Design Center, that you put the software on as many computers in your building as you'd like, because that gives access then to the software from a remote location. So teachers, your media specialists, your administrators, they can access the VariQuest software from the convenience of their own classroom and or office, and they can do a lot of their creating and their prepping and planning before they actually go and print their posters. So it really lends itself to staff efficacy by putting the software on multiple devices. So do keep that in mind. Now, to talk a little bit more specifically of the features with the Design Center 2300, as I mentioned, the top feature is that it comes preloaded with the software. But in addition, it has anywhere between 4 to 6 USB ports that are built in. And even though it is a touch screen, so that makes for easy navigation through the software, we did include a keyboard and a mouse as well. So you can connect those two peripherals to any one of the available USB ports on the VariQuest Design Center. And specifically, you have at least one USB port that's on the right side of the Design Center. It is a best practice to leave that USB port open and available for a thumb drive, because that's going to allow you to easily bring in your school mascot, any of your own graphics, digital photos, whatever they might be, for doing fundraising posters, recognition posters. I mean, the possibilities are absolutely endless. And you can also bring in your own PDF files and bring that directly into the software with your thumb drive to print to poster size. So for your convenience, like I said, a best practice to leave one of those USB ports available on the right of your Design Center. And we are going to dive into the VariQuest software here in just a little bit, and you'll see how easy it is to modify your the different poster and banner templates that are available. And you're going to really love all the possibilities that are right at your fingertips. So that's a little bit about the Design Center. Now let's dive into the printer itself, the Perfecta 2400PRO. I'd like to kick it off by first talking about the 3 accessories that are available for the Perfecta Pro. 1 was included with your investment, and 2 are optional accessories. The 1 accessory that was included is the automatic sheet feeder, which I'm pointing to right now, that just attaches to the back of your printer. The automatic sheet feeder allows you to switch from printing from the roll of paper to poster or banner size to the sheet feeder. And the sheet feeder will house 8.5 by 11, just regular copy or bond paper that you have in your school. And printing on the 8.5 by 11 sheets is ideal for test prints, for student copies, for additional reinforcement outside of the classroom, and also for fundraising flyers, In addition, you can also print certificates. And I have an example of a certificate right here. So not only is the Perfecta 2400 Pro ideal for full color posters and banners, it's ideal for certificate printing as well. Great for recognizing your students, your staff members, your parent volunteers, etc. So the certificate paper just loads right into the automatic sheet feeder, and you can easily print those out within minutes. So that's our automatic sheet feeder. Again, it was included, came in a separate box. There is a user guide, or installation guide I should say, that was also included that gives you the step-by-step instructions for installing it on the back of your printer. And as it says in its name, it easily and seamlessly toggles between the sheet feeder and the roll paper without you having to do a single thing. So I'll demonstrate that here in just a few minutes. The other two accessories that are not included with the Perfecta Pro, but that perhaps your school did invest in, are number one, the roll cover. The roll cover is what I'm lifting up right here. When I do so, you can see how that gives access to the roll of paper that's installed in the top of the Perfecta. The roll cover is a great accessory for just ensuring that dust and debris does not collect around the paper or collect inside the printer itself. So if you don't have the roll cover, you might want to consider purchasing that accessory. The other accessory is the stand for the printer. The stand is really a very convenient accessory as well, in the fact that the Perfecta just rests right on top of it. It really is quite easy to assemble. So rather than taking up table or counter space, you can just rest it right onto the stand, and the stand has wheels. So it makes it very easy to wheel your Perfecta Pro from one classroom to another. So that's really handy. And then it also includes, as I'm kind of pointing to, this fabric catcher. So that's ideal for catching your posters and banners, your multiple copies as they print, so they don't land on the floor. So again, that's an additional or optional accessory as well. Both come with their own user guide as well to help you with easy setup and installation. So those are for your consideration. The next thing I want to talk about is the supplies that were included with your VariQuest investment. Number one, we did provide include in your investment one roll of our 24-inch heavyweight coated Perfecta paper. This is a type of paper that you are going to use on a daily basis. It's a sturdy type of paper, and the posters that print come out really beautifully. Rich in color, very vibrant. They just really pop when they're hanging on your wall. So that roll of paper was included with your investment, along with an introductory set of our ink cartridges. And those ink cartridges are already installed. So that makes it really easy to get started right away printing your great posters and banners. Now, as far as putting the roll of paper in your printer, as far as that's concerned, I will point out, first of all, on our VariQuest Resource Center, we do have a really easy video that shows how to load a roll of paper if you haven't done so yet. But the gist of it is just simply pulling out the spindle that's cradled in the top of the Perfecta. Lift that out. You'll see a little graphic that shows the orientation of the paper. It always should feed over. And then there's a blue end cap that you remove. You slide your roll of paper onto the spindle and then push your blue end cap in place. Make sure the end caps on either side are nice and snug up against each side of the roll of paper. And then it simply cradles in the top of the Perfecta. Once it's in place, then you just start to feed it down into the printer until you feel some resistance, and you'll also hear a beep. And then your attention is going to be drawn to this little control panel that's built on top of the Perfecta. The control panel will then display different paper categories and different paper types. So choose the correct paper category. In this case, it would be coated bond. And then you will get a list of paper types, and you're going to scroll down until you see heavyweight coated paper. Tap on that, and then it will load it'll load on its own. It will simply load it and also check the paper skew too to make sure everything is aligned properly. It just takes seconds to do, and you're good to go. So once the paper is fully loaded, it'll prompt you on the display saying it's successfully loaded, and you know then that you can start printing your posters and banners. If you have the cover, of course, just close the cover once the paper is installed. Now, when you want to access the automatic sheet feeder, as I said, it does it on its own. But a little tip for you, or a step that you want to take to make sure that you can toggle between the roll paper and the auto sheet feeder, is when you're looking at the control panel, on the left, you're going to see a green button that reads paper source. This, by the way, if I didn't already say so, is a touch screen. So just tap on that green button, and then you're going to see where it says roll. It's going to have a rolled icon, and then it's going to have the automatic sheet feeder icon. You're going to tap on both of those. So select both so that it knows, depending on the size poster that you've selected, it knows where to pull, whether it pulls from the roll of paper or it pulls from the automatic sheet feeder to print your output. So make sure you take that easy step and you'll be good to go. Now on the VariQuest Resource Center, you also have access, easy access to all the supplies available for the Perfecta 2400 Pro, including different types of paper. So I highlighted the heavyweight coated paper because that's what you received and that's what you're going to use on a daily basis. But keep in mind we have a couple different types of photo types of paper that are ideal for when you're uploading different photographs. It really lends itself nicely to optimum print quality of those photographs. Our semi-gloss is a satin kind of finish, and then our gloss paper gives a real photo finish quality to it. We also have a tear-resistant paper, and that's great for banner printing and short-term outdoor use. And our tear-resistant paper is called our matte polypropylene paper, so you might want to keep that in mind as well. And keep also this little tip in mind, that type of paper cannot go through a hot laminator. When the heat hits that type of paper, it causes it to bleed and it ruins your image. So don't laminate it at all, or if you have our VariQuest 2510 cold laminator, know that's an excellent complement to any of the posters or banners that you print from your VariQuest 2400 Pro. But the matte polypropylene cannot go through a hot laminator. All the other types of paper can. And then I'll highlight real quick too our bond paper, which is designed for economy prints. With our bond paper, rather than 100 feet to a roll, you get 150 feet. So you are saving on your per poster cost. It is a flimsier type of paper. The color isn't as rich and vibrant as you see like some of the posters behind me that were done on the heavyweight coated paper, but the nice thing about it is the cost savings involved. So for your test prints or short-term use posters and banners that you're going to hang on the wall, tear down and throw away, it's an ideal solution for those applications. And then we also offer a repositionable paper. And again, it's all highlighted in better detail on the VariQuest Resource Center, but our 24-inch heavyweight coated repositionable paper has an adhesive backing to it. So it allows you to print your poster, peel off the back, and mount it onto your hard surface with ease. And just like it says, it's repositionable, so you can easily take it down, reposition it on another hard surface, and it doesn't leave any sticky residue behind. So that's a little bit about the different types of paper that are available. Again, installing the roll of paper in the top of your Perfecta couldn't be any easier. Just always be mindful of the fact when you are switching to a different paper type, again, you'll always be asked to select the paper type that matches with, from the control panel, that matches with what's in your machine, and always be sure to check or tap on the right paper type so that you get that optimum print quality. Now, as it relates to the introductory set of ink cartridges, as I mentioned, those are pre-installed and they actually go right underneath this cover. So this cover just lifts up like I just did. There's a carriage that retracts more to the kind of the center right end of the Perfecta. You'll see that the 4 ink cartridges are loaded. They're color coded, they're spring loaded, so it makes it really easy to just tap on or push on that ink cartridge that you want to take out and replace, for example. Just tap on it and it pops out so you can grab a hold of it and then easily put your new cartridge in and push it in place. So it's a super simple process. And when I say introductory, you get about half of the quantity that you would get with a full set of ink cartridges. So, but again, everything is color coded, spring loaded, couldn't be any easier when it comes time to putting in new VariQuest ink cartridges. So I'm going to go ahead and close this cover, and I will also mention too, for your convenience, we have added a label right on the right side of the cover that gives a QR code. So it's super easy to take your mobile device and just take a picture of or hover over the QR code. It'll take you right to our supplies page where you can order additional ink as needed. So that's a really handy tool that's available to you. And when you are printing your posters, this is another helpful tip, and I think something that's important to note. When you are printing, if you are running low with a particular color, it will tell you that on your control panel. It'll say this color is running low, but you don't want to replace it at that time because of course you do want to fully deplete it and then replace it. When you are completely out of that particular color, your print job will pause. It tells you what color is out, so you can open up your cover, pop out that cartridge, put in the new VariQuest ink cartridge, Perfecta ink cartridge, and then close your cover. It resets itself, and then it continues printing. So it continues where it left off, so you're not wasting any supply, which is really nice too. You will also notice on your control panel, there is a little, there is a menu or toolbar on the very top of the control panel in gray. And if you look close, if you go to the second option, menu option to the right, you'll see a little ink droplet. You can tap on that. It'll show you where your levels of ink are at when you are ready to place an order. If you're wanting to know like what colors you need to replace or order more of, you get that nice little indicator by tapping on that ink droplet. Now another thing I wanted to share with you is that you never want to power your VariQuest Perfecta Pro 2400 Pro down. You want to leave it running at all times, or turned on I should say, at all times, because it goes through its own routine maintenance checks. And those maintenance checks ensure that your ink cartridges aren't drying up, it ensures that your print heads or your print head is in good working order, so you want those maintenance checks to happen. And they only happen when the printer is turned on. So no need when you break for the holidays or take a long weekend, break for the summer months, no need to power it down. Just keep it plugged in, keep it turned on, and you'll be good to go. To help with that effort, if you notice, or when you're looking on your control panel, you'll see a blue button to the right that reads Settings. Just tap on that blue button and then tap on Printer Management. When you tap on Printer Management from the drop-down menu options, you'll see the third option down reads Auto Off. Tap on that and then tap on Never. So it's never going to automatically turn off on you, which is nice. And then the first menu option is Sleep Mode. So after a period of time, when it's not in use, just like our computers, it will automatically go into sleep mode to conserve energy and power. So if you want to adjust that sleep mode and set it up for a different duration of time, you can certainly do that. Again, it's through Printer Management, tapping on sleep mode, and you have different options that you can choose from. So that is another little tip that just ensures that your printer is running well at all times. And the fact that it does its own routine maintenance is really what lends itself to ease of use within your school as well. So then the next thing that I want to talk about are the different connection options that you have with the VariQuest Perfecta Pro as it relates to connecting to your VariQuest Design Center. So you will notice with your investment, you did receive a USB cable. So that's one option, and that's what a lot of our schools do actually. They'll just take that USB cable, connect it in the back of the 2400 Pro, and connect it to any one of the available USB ports on the VariQuest Design Center. And then you have access, easy access to the VariQuest software, which is really nice. But the other option that a lot of schools take advantage of as well is Wi-Fi Direct. So the printer has its own Wi-Fi Direct capabilities, which is a very secure way for our schools to be able to connect wirelessly without necessarily having to connect to your school's network. I mean, you have that option. You absolutely can put the Perfecta Pro on your own school's network, but connecting to Wi-Fi Direct, the printer's Wi-Fi Direct that is, just makes it, like I said, a little bit more secured. So what's nice, and other than the fact that you aren't messing with a USB cable, that's one of the benefits for Wi-Fi Direct, but some of the other benefits are the fact that, like I said earlier, you can have the VariQuest software installed on multiple computers. So if you have it on a laptop, for example, you can then take, when you've created something on your own in the VariQuest software on your laptop, If you want to print it out, you can just come into close proximity to the printer and connect to the printer's Wi-Fi and print directly from your laptop. So that gives some options there too. And you'll always have your VariQuest Design Center connected that way, unless you choose to go with the direct connect that I mentioned. And when you are connecting to the printer's Wi-Fi, know that you can connect up to 5 devices, which does include the VariQuest Design Center, but up to 5 devices at a time. In addition, you can, with the printer's Wi-Fi Direct, it makes it really, it's just a really great possibility or a great option for printing then from your mobile device. You do have that capability with the VariQuest 2400 Pro, and when you are going through the printer's Wi-Fi Direct, it's just like I said earlier, making it a seamless connection, a secure, safe connection as well. So with your mobile device, with your smartphone, your iPad, your tablet, you can again connect to the printer's hotspot and you can print any of your own photos that you have loaded on your phone, PDF files, etc. So I love the fact that you can, whatever's in the palm of your hand, if you connect to the printer, you can print that seamlessly with the Wi-Fi Direct. And again, keep in mind that third connectivity option is connecting to your own school's network if that is the option that you choose. So another thing that I want to point out real quick before we dive into the VariQuest software is when you are looking at the control panel, as I mentioned, there's a gray toolbar that runs across. In the middle is a little notch that you can put your finger on and then just swipe down. Swipe down to kind of pull down another menu, and when it pulls down another menu, you're going to see, and by the way, this is all in your user's guide too, so you can easily consult that guide, and it has really helpful step-by-step instructions on everything that I'm talking about today. But anyway, when you swipe down and pull up a different menu, you're going to see that the third option down gives you the printer name, and it gives you the password, and that's of course what you need to connect wirelessly to the Perfecta's hotspot. Now when you're looking at the printer's name, it's going to actually read HP Design Jet, and then it's going to list the model number. The reason why that is the printer's name is because we have a great partnership with Hewlett-Packard, and together we have put together, manufactured this exclusive printer, VariQuest printer for schools. But it is mimicked or designed after HP's Design Jet series. So that's why it says that, but don't let that confuse you. Again, this is a VariQuest unique printer just with the help of HP's technology. So that is the printer name that you're going to look for when you're connecting your design center to the printer's Wi-Fi, when you're connecting your own computer, your laptop, if you will, to Wi-Fi Direct and your handheld device as well. So when you are in close proximity and you go into your Wi-Fi settings, you'll see that printer name listed. Tap on that, and again, if you need a refresher, just swipe down and it's right there on your control panel. But tap on that printer name, and then right below it is the password. So when prompted, enter in the password, and now you are connected to the Perfecta 2400 Pro, and can easily go forward printing your posters and banners from the VariQuest software, or printing your photos and your PDF files directly from your mobile device. So those are the printer basics that I like to review ahead of diving software, but now we're ready to get a nice tight shot of the VariQuest Design Center as I walk you through how to navigate through the software. So now we are zoomed in on the VariQuest Design Center 2300, and as you see, we're at the main menu of our VariQuest software. When you are, I should say, powering your Design Center on for the very first time, it's going to take you through a quick setup tutorial, which I'm going to walk you through right now. It's actually going to take you into Workroom Assistant, it's going to take you into Setup, and it's going to land on Output Devices. And here, on the left column, under Design Center Devices, you will see when you have connected your Perfecta Pro properly, you will see the printer showing up right here, and the box will be checked. And that means the drivers are installed, everything is good to go, and you'll see the Perfecta Pro button on your main menu, so you can access all that rich content. So that's under Output Devices. And then the other thing I wanted to point out with the setup tutorial anyway, is it takes you then into school information. And here is where you have the opportunity to put in your school name and upload your school mascot. When you do it from this area of the software, it automatically puts it on all the VariQuest poster and banner templates that require a school name and mascot. So essentially, it's tailoring your templates specific to your school. It's a great time saver. It's as easy as can be. You just simply click on Edit Name or tap on it with your finger. From the touchscreen keyboard, put in the name of your school, tap or click OK, and it saves it here as well as onto the various templates. Likewise, with your school mascot, the easiest method is to have it saved on your thumb drive. Pop that into the available USB port on the right side of the Design Center, and then proceed to click or tap on Browse. When you do, you then want to look to the Drives column on the left of your screen. Select the drive that your graphic can be found on, select the folder it's in, you get a preview of the graphic right here, and when you click OK, it saves your mascot here as well as onto the various templates. So I encourage you to take advantage of that step because it's really easy and it's going to be a time saver in the end. The other thing I wanted to point out is this button that reads Network Connection. You do want to click on that. This is how you are going to indicate what your connection method is to the VariQuest 2400 Pro. So first of all, you want to check where it reads the Perfecta 2400 Pro. And then here are the three connection options that I mentioned earlier: Wi-Fi Direct, your school's network, or Hardwire. So just click the button that depicts the way you're connecting to the Perfecta, and you're good to go. So that's how easy that is to make sure that you're properly connected. While we're in the setup area of the software too, I will also call out the name list button. This button is ideal for uploading name lists when you do want to use the Perfecta to print certificates. I mentioned you have that capability by loading your certificate paper in the automatic sheet feeder. Well, here you can upload your name list. You can click on New List and you can enter a brand new list right in the software and then proceed to save it. All your saved lists are going to appear on the left in this column here. When you click on your saved list, your preview of names will be on the right. You can edit those lists, you can remove them at any time, and to make it even easier, you can import a list that you have already put together in an Excel doc. Just save that on a thumb drive, pop it in, click on import, it brings that imported list in and saves it on the left side. When you have name lists already in the VariQuest software and you're on the certificate template, you can then bring in that name list. It puts an individual name on an individual certificate and will print them in batches of up to 50 at a time. So it is a really nice time saver. I'm going to back out of the setup area of the software. I also want to point out, again, we're still under Workroom Assistant. I just clicked on User Documentation. I wanted to point out when you click on the Perfecta 2400 Pro, you have easy access to the PDF files of your Quick Start Guide and your User's Guide. So you can bring that up and consult it right from the convenience of the VariQuest software. Also, you'll see some short little video clips like how to print a certificate, how to print a PDF file. You're not seeing it on my system, but it is on yours, which is a real convenience, or real convenient. And also, you have access to our Perfecta 2400 content guide. This Perfecta content guide is a digital flipbook that gives all the different categories and subcategories of the content within the software, gives thumbnails of each individual poster and banner template of all the different graphics, and each one has a unique ID associated with them. So you can flip through that digital guide, you can share it with others, so you can prepare and prep in advance of your actually creating the posters and printing them from your Perfecta 2400 Pro. It is a real time saver, and it's a great way to get the word out to your teachers and other school staff members about this great investment and all the wonderful content that you have access to. So that is our digital content guide. You will also find that on the VariQuest Resource Center as well. There is a link that you can click on to copy and share with the rest of your staff. So I just wanted to point that out. I will also make a quick mention that we do have a button here that reads about the VariQuest Design Center. This will, when you click on that, it will give you access to the software license agreement. In the upper right corner, it tells you what version of software you have. We are updating our software, adding new content on a pretty frequent basis, and generally releasing an upgrade to our VariQuest software about once a year. So you do want to make sure you're staying abreast and using the most current version of our VariQuest software. So you can consult the VariQuest Resource Center to see what the current version is, and then if need be, you can, if you don't have the current version, you can download that update and then upload it into your VariQuest Design Center software for ensuring that you're able to access all our latest and greatest content. So that's another little tip for you. Now let's go ahead and just click on the menu button. Again, I'm back to where I was originally. Here's where I see the button of the Perfecta 2400 Pro to get started accessing all the various templates and creating your great posters and banners. Just click on that button. You are then able to search for your template. Again, we have over 1,000 pre-designed poster and banner templates right at your fingertips. If you know what you're looking for, well then just click on search by keyword, enter in a keyword or phrase. It'll pull up any poster or banner templates that we have that pertain to that search word. Also, as mentioned in the Perfecta content guide, we have unique IDs associated with each poster and every graphic that's within the software, so you can jot that down in advance, type it in here, it goes right to that particular poster or graphic, so it narrows your search, as I mentioned, if you know what you're looking for. Otherwise, and I encourage you all to do this to really become familiar with everything within the software, click on the Browse Categories button, and you will find on the left column of your screen we have everything sorted in categories and in subcategories. All of our content is sorted in a very intentional way. Everything is in alphabetical order, so it makes it a lot easier to find the desired template that you might be searching for. You'll notice under the categories, just to call out a few, that we have the 4 main subject areas represented: English language arts, math, science, and social studies. We have a robust selection of health and safety templates, so we want to make sure that your school remains safe at all times. We've got a lot of CDC poster templates that are readily available to print to poster size. We've got a lot of other disease prevention type of posters, good ones for communicating your guidelines, your safety guidelines within your building, social distancing, wash your hands, keep your mask on, you know, all those types of things are within the health and safety category. And then also under teacher tools, we have a number of basic layouts that you can choose from. So when you're searching through the software, if you don't see a template that is going to meet your application needs, well, you can choose one of our basic layouts. These are just text boxes and graphic boxes laid out a certain way so you can design your poster or your banner however you wish. So those basic layouts are very popular. You can also design or create your own customized 24-inch banners as well. We just give you the layout and you can do the rest create and do the rest from this point after selecting your template. So that is really nice. Under whole school too, I'll also mention, this is where you're going to find your certificates for certificate printing, and again, the ability to bring in a name list or print consecutive certificates at a time. We have a number of college and career readiness templates right at your fingertips as well, and we have also a very nice collection of social emotional learning templates. I always like to point this out because we know how important it is to make sure our students and staff are doing well and staying healthy, both mentally and physically. So we've got a lot of great SEL templates as well. So again, peruse the software, become familiar with it, and you'll find, as I mentioned earlier, that the possibilities are really quite endless. I will also point out we have a change button in the upper right corner. You can always change your content preferences, deselect grade levels that maybe aren't relevant to the ages of the students in your school as well. So your searches are maybe just a little bit more intentional if you want to deselect some of those grade levels. However, I always recommend keeping all 4 boxes checked, because if you see a template that's not suited for a particular grade level, know that you can always make edits to most of the templates, so you can modify it so it is more suitable for that group of students. So to get started with selecting your poster, you just choose your category, you choose your subcategory, and then you proceed to click on or tap on the template that you want, and then click or tap OK. When you do so, it takes you to your edit screen. Here's where over on the right side you have some very simple but very effective editing capabilities. It's very user-friendly. You have a guide me button up in the upper right corner too that will guide you every step of the way. So anybody can navigate and use this software with ease for sure. Just to highlight some of the editing capabilities, you've got these different tabs: design, text, graphics, color, and background. Under the design tab, you have so many capabilities to maneuver and manipulate your objects. You can bring things send them to the back, bring them forward. You can center things horizontally and vertically. You can rotate objects, and you can delete objects as well and also you can copy and paste from this design tab. So when I click on this header, for example, and click delete, it just deletes it right out of there. You can also take your finger or your mouse and you can move things around. So if I want to move this graphic box, for example, I can do so. So it's just really easy to navigate through the software, very similar to any Microsoft program that I'm sure you're already familiar with. In addition, when you click on text, here's where you can modify existing text, or you can enter in new text. And it takes you to a touchscreen keyboard where you can type in whatever it is that you want to replace or add. And note on this touchscreen keyboard, you do have a Spanish letters key as well, so you can easily toggle between the Spanish letters keyboard and the standard keyboard and type in Spanish. You also have the convenience of adjusting your font size with your keyboard and your mouse, so you can. I don't have a keyboard connected, so I'm just using my mouse to make my font size smaller. Of course, having your keyboard attached makes it even easier and faster to do, and then you can drag your text to where you want it to go. You have a variety of fonts and styles right at your fingertips as well. You can click on that button or tap on it. It brings up a font library. You can peruse all the different font styles. Click on the font style that you want, and it automatically adjusts your letters, and then you can make all these simple edits down below with your font style as well. So that couldn't be any easier. Likewise, with the graphics tab, here's where you can edit specific graphics that are on the template, and maybe not in all cases. You'll know when you can't modify anything. Like, for example, all those CDC posters, those are just to be printed right as they are. But in most cases of the posters, the templates that we've created with our own in-house graphic designer, most of those you can modify almost everything on the template. So with graphics, you can either bring in a new graphic, or I can click on this open graphic box, just click graphics. This is then bringing me into the area of the software where I can access those full color graphics. As I mentioned, there's over 7,000 to choose from, so lots of options. You, again, just like with the templates, you can search by keyword if you know what you're looking for to narrow your search, or simply browse categories. And our graphics are laid out just like our templates on the left column of your screen in categories and in subcategories, and everything is in alphabetical order. So choose your category, click on the graphic you want, and it positions it right on your poster template. You can flip that graphic as well, and you can resize it also, and move it around, whatever you choose to do. I will also mention that you can always bring in, or you can also bring in your own graphics. I think I highlighted that at the top of training, where it's super easy to bring in your own digital photographs of students, of staff, of parent volunteers, sports teams, etc. You could bring those graphics in very easily. Any graphics that you find on the internet, you can bring those in effortlessly as well. So the way you do that is just like how I showed you with your mascot. Just have your graphic saved on a thumb drive, and then you click on Find My Own Graphics. Again, under the Drives column, you choose the drive that it's on, you choose the graphic that you want to upload, you get a preview here, and when you click OK, it saves it right onto your template. Now just be mindful when you are bringing in a graphic from the internet, I'll hover over that graphic before you save it and upload it to make sure it's a large graphic, because anything small in scale or small in size is going to, when it's enlarged to poster size, it could appear pixelated. So look for nice large graphics, anything off your smart device, your handheld device, if it's saved in its actual size, it's going to print beautifully. So do keep that in mind. Also, I had mentioned earlier in the design tab how you can copy and paste. So if you add a graphic or two and you want to spread it out throughout your template, rather than bringing it in individually each time, you can, like I said, copy and paste it quite easily like I just showed you. So super easy capabilities. I will also mention, and you probably noticed this already, you can add simple shapes under the graphics tab as well. So I can add a star, for example. By clicking on that, I can resize it and then position it where I want it to be on my template. So very easy to design your template and get real creative with your various posters and banners. Under the Colors tab, pretty self-explanatory. When you click there, it takes you to a color palette so you can recolor things and really make it pop when it's hanging on your wall. So you just choose the color that you, click on the item that you want to recolor, choose the color from the palette, and it changes it, as you can see. Make it a little bit more colorful. So you get the idea. You can also click on custom and you can customize to your school color, for example. We know how important it is to maintain your school brand. So if you enter in the RGB value or the hex number of your actual school colors, you can achieve that color as well on all your various posters and banners. We also have a backgrounds tab, which allows you to change the background of most of your templates. You can change the color, you can do a horizontal gradient or a vertical gradient of that color as well. So like in this particular case, if I change the color, it's changing the color of the border, and then I can do those gradient variations as well. So you get the idea of how easy that is. I also want to mention how I had pointed out those basic layouts earlier. You can choose an empty graphic box or an empty text box. Go to your edit screen, delete that empty graphic or text box, then you're starting with a blank slate. And when you click on graphics, we do have a category of a number of different backgrounds. You can choose a background like an ocean scene or a winter scene or whatever it might be. Stretch it to the size of your blank slate and build upon it with your own text and your graphics. So you are essentially starting from scratch, like I said, starting with a blank slate and creating it exactly how you want it to be. So that's a really nice feature as well. One other thing I will show you too is you do have the ability, if you have your design center connected to the internet, you do have an Ethernet port in the back of your design center, so you can connect and you can access Google Drive right from the software as well to pull in your graphics that way. So that is something for your consideration too. When you're done with your editing, just go ahead and follow the prompts in the lower right corner by clicking next to actually print it out. Here it's going to ask if you want to save your changes. Of course you want to say yes if you're going to recall it at a later date and print it again, maybe every single month or whatever it might be. Say yes to if you are using the software on a remote computer. Let's say you don't have a laptop and you did put the software, as we recommend, on a desktop that's in your classroom, and you've designed a poster that you want to print during your prep time. If you say yes to saving it, then you can retrieve that and export it onto a thumb drive and then import it in and print to poster size when that time is available to you. So say yes to saving it if needed, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You just save it under your file name, and when it is saved, you're good to go. Keep in mind, it saves it in one big open file folder, but it does alphabetize everything. So we recommend that you save everything. Our teachers and other people using the Design Center, have them save their projects under their last name because it's alphabetized. It's going to be a lot easier to search for at a later date. And then if you don't need to save it, of course, just say no, and you'll be advanced like I just was to the print preview screen. Here's where you get a nice preview of your finished poster before you print it. Here's also where you can select the size. So I talked about that automatic sheet feeder. This is where you are determining or indicating the size, and it's going to automatically switch for you depending on what size you've chosen. So it defaults to the standard poster size, and by the way, your output size is always indicated down below. So you can do the standard poster size with your roll paper. You can click on medium. That's going to still utilize the 24-inch width of your roll of paper, but it's shrinking your image down, and you're going to end up with about a 24 by 17 or 18-inch poster. So it's making it more of a medium-sized poster. But then if you click on 13 by 19 or 8.5 by 11, that's when it's going to draw those sheet-fed prints from your automatic sheet feeder. So these are the different size options that we've made available to you for your convenience. And then you have your print quality as well. It hovers over normal. We recommend that you just keep it there. You're going to get a good poster and banner each and every time. If you need to move the dial to the right for the best, most optimum print quality, you can certainly do that. Or if you want speed to trump quality, you can move the dial to the left under hovering over fast, and it'll print them a lot faster. But you might have some color banding and other quality issues, so keep that in mind. And then you have your up and down arrow symbols so that you can adjust your quantity. And when you're ready to print, you click print or tap on the button print. You get a message box like I just did that says it's preparing to print. When that message box goes away, you can start over, start by creating your next poster or banner. So you can build your print queue, and it will print and share in between each one. I want to also point out before so my poster, by the way, is starting to print, but before we zoom back out so you can actually see it in action, I want to point out a couple other things. I'm going to click on the Start Over button. Here is that My Files button that I wanted to mention. All of your saved designs, your saved creations are going to appear in this open window. And again, this blue band underneath gives the file name, which is alphabetized. So this is how you can, select something, click edit, follow the prompts to print it at a later date. This is also where, if you are on a desktop and if you save something, this is where you're going to go to click on what you've saved, and you're going to export it then onto your thumb drive. When you do so, don't change anything about it. Don't change the file name, don't change the file extension, just leave it as is, export it onto your thumb drive, and then again, during prep time, walk it down to your workroom area or media center, wherever your equipment is located, pop in your thumb drive, go to My Files, proceed to import it in, and when it's there, you can then click on it to print it out. So that is going to be a really nice time saver. And of course, you can delete ones that you aren't using any longer. Either just click on it and click delete to keep things a little bit more up to date in this folder. The last feature I want to talk about is the My PDFs button. This is what allows you to bring in your own PDF files. I mentioned you can print a PDF from your mobile device, but you can also bring in a PDF file via a thumb drive and print it seamlessly right through the VariQuest software. So anything that you create or design in a different software program, if you can save it as a PDF file, you can print. So you just simply click My PDFs. We'll pop in your thumb drive with a PDF on it first. Pop that in, click on My PDFs, again select the drive that it's found on, select your folder, select your PDF file. You get a nice file preview. When you click OK, it just takes a couple seconds to load. When the PDF file is uploaded, it takes you, as you see here, right to the print preview screen. You can't make any edits. You are ready to just print as it is, so all your editing takes place beforehand. But you're at the print preview screen where you can adjust your size, your print quality if needed, and your copies, and then you can proceed to print that out. So that's how easy it is to bring in your PDF files as well. So with that said, I'm going to zoom back out, and you are now going to be able to see the Perfecta. It's been printing just quietly, efficiently while I've been talking. It's almost done, as a matter of fact. When it is done, it comes to a complete stop, of course. It shears it off, and you've got your great poster ready to hang on a wall, or if you want to preserve and protect it, you can laminate it first. If you notice when it's printing, you have an error or something doesn't look quite right, to save on your supply, you will notice that there is an X in the lower left corner of the control panel. Just tap on that like I just did, and when it comes to a complete stop, it shears it off so that you can make your corrections and start again. And again, it's a great way to save on your supply. But here's an example of what I was just working on. Here's my beautiful poster ready to either laminate, like I said, or just hang right on my wall. So again, it's very easy to use. I did talk about the VariQuest Resource Center. We've got a number of videos on the VariQuest Resource Center that you can access for refresh. That's where you're going to find your supply information for ordering additional VariQuest paper and ink supplies for your Perfecta Pro. That's where you'll find the software to download on multiple computers. You'll also find a lot of great and valuable teacher resources that we've put together to help you continue to be successful within your school with your investment. We've got great professional development webinars that are archived that you can watch on demand as well. And that's also where you're going to find that Perfecta content guide that you can share with others so that you get the word out as far as all the great possibilities. So that concludes our training. I thank you so much for your time. For additional support and assistance, please contact us at 1-800-328-0585. Thank you.